So this is the guy
Yes, Beaver County sniper scene and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay.
Body camera footage recorded Secret Service agents and other members of law enforcement on the roof where Thomas Matthew Crooks fired shots trying to kill former President Donald Trump.
We have one shooter deceased. I think we have 3 victims in the crowd. Did you guys hear that too?
I'm breaking down the video that shows the confusion and anxiety after the shooting. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. We're getting an up-close look at the confusion among members of law enforcement after Thomas Matthew Crooks fired several shots from a roof in Butler, Pennsylvania, as he tried to kill President Trump. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley posted the video on his X account on Tuesday night. Grassley wrote, "Sensitive content. July 13 body cam footage provided more info than Secret Service will share with America. We need, in all caps, detailed answers ASAP on security failures. Transparency brings accountability. Video obtained from Beaver County Emergency Services Unit in compliance with congressional requests." Grassley was referring to the House Oversight Committee testimony of former Secret Service head Kim Cheatle, who resigned on Tuesday. I think most people can agree that her testimony was an absolute disaster. She revealed little, if any, information about the shooting.
The assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13th is the most significant operational failure of the Secret Service in decades, and I am keeping him and his family in my thoughts.
Was this a colossal failure?
It was a failure.
Yes or no? Was it a colossal failure is the question. Yes or no?
I have admitted this is a terrible
This is a yes or no series of questions. Was this a colossal failure? Yes or no?
Yes.
You say leaking your opening statement to Punchbowl News, Politico's Playbook, and Washington Post several hours before you sent it to this committee as being political. Yes or no?
I have no idea how my statement got out.
Well, that's bullshit.
So this body camera footage is really the first look we're getting into what happened on the law enforcement end of things in the aftermath of the shooting.
All right, so we don't know. So this is the guy
Yes, Beaver County sniper scene and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay, all right.
Rifle right there, obviously.
Got it.
So you heard the man who appears to be a Secret Service agent right there, confirming that snipers with Beaver County took photos of Thomas Crooks and circulated them. But there's no discussion about anyone on the ground going to speak with him. The video continues, and keep in mind, the timestamp on the video is at 7:11 p.m., an hour after those shots were fired.
Is he on that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
I don't know.
Treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right, so if you go to that window that's open and yell for Greg, that's the sniper that sent the original pictures and seen him come from the bike and set the book back down and then lost sight of him.
Okay.
He's the one that sent the pictures out. I don't know if you got the same ones I did.
I think I did, yeah. He's like got his glasses on. And
So there's talk about snipers being in a window, seeing Crooks from a window. There's also discussion about someone on a bike.
Okay, and then this is his bike with the stuff. And our sniper seen him walking away from that, I believe.
Okay.
But he would be right inside that window. He's the one that physically seen this, sent the pictures, and called it out.
okay, so and we have somebody detained, correct?
That I don't know.
People detained on this side.
All right. Our guy that was just up here told me that there's a guy detained who's the owner of the bike. And I said, no, I think that's the owner of the bike.
Basically, when I got
We've been up here, so we wouldn't know that information.
We just hauled ass. We got over here.
Got it.
We hopped up
No.
over
Yeah, no problem. Is that all your stuff?
That was one of our
Yeah, so someone came up looking to treat him and this record.
Yes.
Copy. Gas is off to the building, just so you know.
Thank you.
The video continues with discussion about some people recording other people at the scene. They're trying to sort out who they have and whether other people could have been involved in this. Crooks's body is on the roof, but we're not going to show that to you.
Copy. Gas is off to the building, just so you know.
Thank you.
had some.
Yeah, they do. I talked to the guy. They were those people detained were filming.
The American Water was notified. They authorized.
Maybe they were involved. Maybe they weren't.
They will start somebody.
Other than that, I haven't heard anybody.
Well, I think it's.
Nothing. Close out the line today.
the guys that saw them filming were like, oh, they were filming us, and then filming the guy up on the roof, and then filming us. And then when shots started firing, they like tried to run away. It was like, isn't that what everybody would do that has a phone? You know, I'm not saying they weren't involved, but you know what I mean? Like that.
It's up in the air right now, right?
Right. So I got no problem detaining them. But again, I'm just trying to detain those guys, find out what they know, who they are, whatever. I'm trying to get clear information to relay back to DC.
Bring control to the water tower.
We have one shooter deceased. I think we have 3 victims in the crowd. Is that, did you guys hear that too?
That I'm not sure.
So I heard 1 deceased, 2 life flighted.
I know 2 helicopters did take off.
Yeah. Okay.
This video is really the most information the public has received about what happened in the moments after the shots were fired. We've learned that snipers were stationed somewhere in a window, but not on the roof where Crooks set up his gun, and that snipers had seen Crooks and felt he was suspicious well before President Trump took the stage. They even circulated photos, and the snipers in the window lost sight of Crooks. But was anyone looking for him on the ground? People in the crowd were yelling on cell phone videos, "He's on the roof and he has a gun," before the shots were fired at 6:11 p.m. and 33 seconds. Hey, Crime Fix viewers, I want to tell you all about Wondery's awesome podcast, American Scandal. You can listen right now and explore the biggest political corruption scheme in U.S. history in the latest season, Teapot Dome. Using vivid and immersive storytelling, American Scandal retraces the bribes, players, and underhanded deals related to the Teapot Dome scandal. In 1922, newspapers reported that Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall had leased federally owned oil reserves to 2 of the nation's wealthiest oil barons, Edward Doheny and Harry Sinclair. The scandal, named after one of the oil reserves in Wyoming, would eventually send Sinclair to prison for contempt of Congress and jury tampering, and made Fall the first person ever convicted of a crime committed while serving in the U.S. cabinet. Follow American Scandal on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts, and you can also binge this season American Scandal Teapot Dome early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus and by going to our link, wondery.fm/law-and-crime-fix. Jimmy was a sniper for years, and he's here to talk with us about his thoughts on this body camera footage. So, Jimmy, we see this man who is in a suit, and he appears to be a Secret Service agent, and he is asking a lot of questions up on that roof. It seems like there's a lot of confusion, and this body camera footage is actually from about an hour after the actual shots were fired.
Yeah, so my takeaway from that body camera footage was the first thing that I, as a sniper, take away from it is I hear that the snipers that were in the window took a picture of the guy and knew something was up with him. First of all, my question is to why are those guys in that second window building? Why are they in there? Why were they not on the roof like the other guys were? Mm-hmm. Coming from a sniper's standpoint, if you're inside of a building looking through a window, you narrow down your field of vision tremendously. 2, the window that they're looking out of is looking towards Trump. You're narrowing down your window of what you can see, the field of vision, and you are tremendously limiting yourself in your visibility. Number 2, putting yourself in that room, you're going to make yourself non-visible. And that's the goal if you are putting yourself in some situation like that, is you don't want to be seen. You don't want people to see you. And we can see that in this case, right? Nobody's seen these guys. We didn't even know they were there until this body camera footage is saying that they were there, right? Mm-hmm. And number 3 would be, in that body camera footage, he literally goes, the window's right over there, just go over there and talk to him. So these guys could have seen. Now, again, I wasn't there. I don't know the perspective of what that window could see and what they could not see. However, based on him saying the window's right over there, just go over there and talk to him, why did they not see this guy climbing the roof with a rifle and go ahead and eliminate that threat? That's the questions that I have.
The thing I found interesting about it, Jimmy, was that they knew the guy was there. I mean, this is an acknowledgement that we had kind of heard before, that they saw him. He was suspicious. He was identified as suspicious before the shots were fired, before President Trump took the stage. He was still allowed to take the stage. So they knew this guy was weird. There was something hinky going on. They still let President Trump take the stage. Snipers, apparently, Beaver Creek snipers, they said, took pictures of him and sent it out and circulated it. So they knew something was not right, but they still let the former president go out and be basically a sitting duck up there on that stage. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it's a lack of communication. They take these pictures, they put the pictures out there. Clearly, they know this guy's a threat. The fact that they allowed the president to go up there knowing that there's a threat there and they did not detain this guy, why did no one go and talk to this guy? You're taking pictures of him. Why did no one approach him? Why did no one take him into custody? Why did we allow the former president to take the stage? I mean, Trump even came out and said, I would have waited 15 minutes. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be shot at that day, but it's very troubling to understand that this is such a failure.
Trump would have waited to take the stage. I mean, we're not talking about just the safety of former President Trump. We're talking about the safety as well of all of those people at the rally. So this isn't just one person we're talking about. And we had a firefighter, Corey Comparator, who was basically, killed protecting his own family. And then 2 other men were shot and wounded. They're recovering, thank goodness, in the hospital. But it is stunning to me that they didn't just say, hey, we got to stop this, hold the phone until we figure out what's going on with this suspicious guy, because there's a suspicious guy. Now we're hearing some information from the FBI director that he had encrypted messaging apps on his phone. We don't know who he was talking to, but obviously he was talking to somebody. And they've been able to find nothing on his phone that points to any type of, ideology or anything like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's just highly suspicious. Very, very suspicious. It's more of who coaxed this guy into doing this. That would be the question of those messages. Like, who's talking to him?
So overall, your takeaway from that body camera video is the fact that it shows a lack of communication. It obviously shows some confusion because they're trying to piece together what on earth was going on. But what's stunning to me is the fact that they had time to circulate photos of this guy, but nobody took action on the ground to go figure out where he was or what he was up to.
Yeah, and my biggest takeaway as a sniper for the guys that were inside of that building, in that window, I would question why they were inside the building, because you're limiting yourself tremendously. I understand it was super hot that day. It was 91 degrees, and being on top of a roof, that's magnified 2 times over. So I understand that you don't want to put yourself out there. However, I would ask, what was your goal there? Was your goal not to be seen? Was your goal to limit your visibility? I would question the motives of what those snipers were thinking.
And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.